There are fresh tensions brewing between Seoul and Tokyo after business groups in Japan claimed recent Korean court rulings on compensation for Koreans forced into labor under Japanese colonial rule could potentially hurt bilateral relations. Hwang Sang-hee has the details.
A recent South Korean court ruling ordering Japanese companies to compensate Korean victims of forced labor during Japan's colonial rule in the early 1900s is provoking new tensions between the two countries. On Wednesday, three major Japanese economic organizations issued a statement saying that the issue of compensation for forced labor was settled through a bilateral treaty signed in 1965. The statement also expressed concern that the lawsuits would ultimately hinder bilateral investment and trade. The South Korean court ruling, issued Friday, says that the 1965 agreement does not recognize the individual rights of the roughly 23,000 South Koreans forced to work for Japanese companies during World War II to demand compensation. A government committee in Seoul recently took the same position. The Forced Labor Investigation Committee under the Prime Minister's office said Wednesday that the Japanese businesses, together with its government, must be held accountable for forced labor and that the individual right to demand compensation is valid. An official at Seoul's foreign ministry said the government is awaiting the Supreme Court's ruling on the matter, but added the related ministries are considering various measures. The Japanese government is believed to be mulling the option of taking the issue to the International Court of Justice, which will inevitably exacerbate the already thorny bilateral relations between Korea and Japan. Hwang Sang-hee, Arirang News.